Just tell yourself, don't look back now. The voices that whisper, just playing tricks on your mind. But those little black lines growing shadows so tall. They swallow you, fucking whole. What will it be? Can it creation? Don't stop now. You have played it. What do you mean? Everyone feels it. Little sick.
Yo, 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 yo. What is going on? How we doing? How we doing? Hello, hello, hello. Everyone is doing all right. Welcome to the stream. Been a minute. Wasn't able to stream last week. Felt like shit. And did the one before that a bit shorter than usual because I ended up feeling like shit. So we're back. We're here. Happy to be here. It's gonna be a good one. We have a ton of stuff to go over. Being that I wasn't there last week, ton of news that came out, ton of new music, and I have a few subjects I wanted to talk about. I want to maybe start doing some more planned stuff around content, I guess. So regular stuff will still be happening. I'll be talking about certain news items, which might be turned into content, but mostly not. And then obviously look at tour announcements, check out some new music. We are this week bringing back the breakdown of the week. And yeah, you can expect everything else as regularly planned, but I've been trying to put a bit more thought into turning some of the live streaming content into videos afterwards instead of making a video like speaking to the camera while I'm off stream. So this is going to be a stab at that. I have turned certain things from the live streams into actual videos. That's most of the content that I've posted as of this year anyways, but there was never really like any thought into it. It wasn't really planned out in that way. So it might just, I don't know, it's more so for me, I guess, just the way I approach it and interact with it and plan for it. So that's that. We're going to do a little bit of housekeeping just to start off the show, just being that I wasn't there last week and all. So I've been weirdly feeling like shit for the past few weeks, specifically Saturday mornings. And so it's kind of shit for this thing. I just have the music turned up way up here, and I gotta fix something with my mixer after the stream. I'm already calling it, trying out not having the big green headphones on. These bad boys, because it's kind of ugly as shit. Can't wear my hair the way I want it whenever I want to. So that's that. But yeah, so I've been feeling a little bit like shit on Saturdays, and what it comes down to, I think, is I haven't really been sleeping well / enough during the week, and then I kind of just rely on coffee for my entire week. So I've been going to Tim Hortons and getting a coffee in the morning on my way to work, thinking there's no way I can even drive an hour to work without falling asleep. So it's like highly needed. We have like unlimited coffee at work, which is actually like way better than whatever like cheap like fast food place, like coffee shop place I'd be able to get coffee from. But I rather pay for the shitty Tim Hortons coffee, just because doing that hour or something drive just fucking kills me if not. And then I usually have a coffee like early afternoon, like after my lunch as well. And I've never been a coffee guy. I've worked at places that serve coffee, so I've had coffee here and there. That's usually like, its accessibility has usually been the reason why I've had coffee in my life. And that's the case now, I guess, too. And that needs to stop. because I think what's going on is that the Saturdays come around and I don't have any coffee, and then I'm just fucked. Like I just start feeling like shit because I haven't had coffee, and I mainly haven't been. Sorry, I'm like fucking around with this mic placement. But yeah, I haven't really wanted to ever drink coffee consistently in my life because I don't want that dependence, and I feel like I kind of have that dependence right now. So I had coffee this morning because I didn't want to feel like fucking shit, but I think normally I haven't had coffees for the past few Saturdays, and I think it's just fucked me up. I wake up in the morning and I feel fine, which is what scares me right now because I felt fine this morning. But I felt fine last Saturday morning, and I felt fine the Saturday before that when I woke up. And then around noon, or like throughout the stream at some point, it just fucking hits me, and I'm like destroyed. So that's kind of shitty, because last week it like straight up made me not be able to stream. I just couldn't. Up until the last second, I think it was like a 2:30 stream or something like that, which is like particularly late for what I usually stream at. And up until like 5 minutes before the stream, I was like, it's okay, it's cool, like you feel like shit, but you'll get on stream and everything will be better, it's gonna be fine. And then like I was about to hit like start streaming, and I was like, I can't. I'm gonna be the worst host, it'll be the worst stream, no one's gonna want to fucking listen to me, I'll be just like a Debbie Downer the whole time, it won't be entertaining whatsoever. And that's kind of how I felt like the week before, where I actually did stream, but I felt fine when I started streaming. But then halfway through the stream, it just hit me, and I was like, oh shit, like I'm not feeling it. And then the rest of the stream was chalk, in my opinion. Like I unlisted it right away. I was like, usually I have the previous week's stream like live up in the in my recent videos, just the last week. And last week I just kept the one from the week before, and I think I privated the other one. I just straight up, I don't think you can even find it. That's how like uncomfortable I felt for the last like hour of the stream. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm hoping it's fine today, but so far so good. And then I did have coffee, I guess, in the morning just to make sure. Yeah, by the way, if there's anything that you guys think about that you'd want me to talk about on stream, definitely like put it in chat. Obviously, if you've got any ideas, the Discord is the best place to leave those ideas. Kind of just anywhere, whatever. I think there's a channel for like video and live stream like channel ideas. But if during the stream at any point you've got any ideas of things to talk about, do feel free to type it in chat. And if I don't talk about it like right there and then, at least I'll like take note of it and maybe talk about it like in the next stream or something. So I'm always looking for like new subjects and stuff. I've got like a ridiculously extensive list of like video ideas that I've just haven't been getting around to, but sometimes it's just a matter of finding that idea that like sparks conversation or sparks something in your brain, and that for whatever reason I actually do have an opinion about that I want to talk about, I guess. So yeah, I like every single stream lately, for those that I actually show up for, no matter how much I prep, like how much I set everything up beforehand, if I'm like actually in front of the computer like a half hour before the stream starts or whatever, I'm always fucking late for some reason. There's always something that comes up. Sometimes it's just like I can't get my, like I'll go to start streaming, I turn on my camera and it's just, it doesn't want to show up in my streaming program. That's always fun. And then today I had an appointment to go get my dog groomed, because he's been losing his hair a ton because it's spring here, and he looks he looked homeless up until an hour ago, but his the thing was at 11, and I didn't realize that it was gonna take like an hour and a half to get done. I live like right beside the place, so it's not like I had to sit there and wait for it. Came back home in between, but I never figured it'd take like an hour and a half, and so I had already planned my stream for 12:30, which is an hour and a half after his appointment, thinking there's no shot it would take that long, and then turned out it like 12:30 rolled up and he still wasn't ready. I was like, Jesus. He hates being he hates being like touched or manipulated in any way, even by us. So it's always kind of an ordeal to get him groomed. But he's got he's a Shiba Inu, and apparently they have really sensitive skin, so we can't just like groom him ourselves. Well, I mean, maybe we could, but we'd have to like actually know what we're doing, or else we'd actually like fuck him up. So we have like no choice to get him groomed, but he kind of hates it. I think he shat twice during the process, from what I was told when I came to pick him up. But he's looking all fluffy now. I think he like just calmed down, so I'm not gonna call him in here, but I'll call him at some point throughout the stream. It's gonna work. I don't know if this is gonna work. I guess the photos probably don't even give it justice. Da-da-da-da-da. Does this like go up? Is that gonna focus? That's the boy. I was looking all fluffy instead of looking homeless. Yeah. I'm realizing I didn't post to Instagram, and that's usually where I get at least a few people popping in to the stream. So please bear with me for a second. I'm gonna try and keep talking while I do this, but I'm not super good at multitasking, so if I lag out for a second, my bad. But yeah, we've got oh yeah, I've got a bit of a limited time today for stream, which kind of pisses me off that I had to start it late, because that's gonna chop into the amount of time that I can be on stream today. But I eventually have to leave for I've got some friends that are in town that I haven't seen in like since COVID. They're getting tattooed by my wife, so I'm gonna go hang out while they get tattooed, and then we're gonna go out for a drink afterwards, which I haven't done since COVID. Yo, Cryptic, what's going on, man? How you doing? So, I mean, they only get there at like 4, and I'm like maybe like a half hour away from the studio, so it's not like I don't have to be there at 4, so I'll probably still be on as long as I normally would have wanted to. But if for whatever reason this would have been a longer stream than usual, it might not happen. But that's that. But I mean, I've still got a few hours on here, so it's cool. What else? I posted to my socials, my like personal socials yesterday, about wanting to learn, get better at actually like singing. Wait, I just gotta find this one thing and then I'll be good. Yeah, so like actually like singing. I've been listening. I made this emo post-hardcore playlist, and I've had it on a repeat ever since I made it, but now it's gotten me like singing in the car 24/7, and it's really made me want to start like an online project for a like emo post-hardcore project. Sorry, I'm like looking off stream. Just got to make this post, and then I will be fully back to the stream. But yeah, I've got like extensive experience with like screaming, but none Yeah, but none really with singing. So I have a very high range because my voice is high pitched. But sorry, it's gonna take 1/2 of a second. I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm just gonna do this for 1 second because then once it'll take me away this time, and then once I'm done, I'll be fully here. Sorry, just 1 second. Share, copy link. Yeah, here. Oh, not like that. Here, the URL thing. Link. Post the link. Paste. Live now. Here. Boom. Okay. Okay. Oh shit. Ignore limit. I have a time limit on my fucking phone for socials, which I always ignore. Fucking pointless. Here, does here. Just gotta. Oh fuck. Here and out of screen, and here story. Yeah, add to story. Okay, sorry. Okay, so yeah, so I've been wanting to get better at singing, and it I have a fairly like high pitched voice. It's, you know, I have like a high pitched nasally voice to begin with, so it kind of pairs well with like emo post-hardcore vocals to begin with, and a higher register. So I feel like kind of blessed in the sense that it's not really a register that I'm gonna have to work for too much. Like I already feel like I have that range, but I want to get my bass vocal just sounding better. And I'm having a hard time finding videos and stuff online that actually compares singing to already knowing how to scream, because obviously from all the live performances and recording that I've done, and just like jamming and practicing in general for screaming, but it's like deathcore and death metal vocals, right? But all that experience that I have from that, I mean, there are certain things that clearly transfer over. So I'm thinking about my breathing. I'm thinking about just general like breathing control. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's just I know certain things like transfer over and some things don't. And I'm having a hard time when I'm watching these like videos online about how to sing. I'm having a hard time finding good videos about the particular type of singing that I want to do. And I'm having a hard time relating what they're saying to what I already know. You know, it's stupid stuff like because I'm a beginner at singing, technically. So they're explaining a lot of things that I already kind of know, and they'll stress like, don't do this because it's gonna hurt you, and you won't know, and then you'll be fucked. And I'm like, yeah, well, the difference is I'll know because I know what it feels like in my throat when it's going to hurt, right? Going on tour for a month and a half and screaming every single night. I mean, screaming was probably way more of a, not necessarily, but I'm assuming it was a bit more of a stress, technically speaking, especially if done wrong on your vocal cords, than singing, depending on what you're doing singing wise. But so I already know a lot of that stuff, and I'm just having a hard time finding like resources that I can, or like courses or people talking about music that I can actually relate to. So I posted online, and then let me see if I can pull him up. I actually got a few people talking about a specific guy on YouTube, Chris Liepe, and let me pull him up here. Here? Yeah, okay. So this guy, apparently, I've actually had a few of his videos like pop up in my feed before, but I've I think there was this one video he was talking about like vocal runs with like Johnny Craig or something like that. And I watched the video and I was like, this is actually like really cool. And he does singing and streaming, and then particularly like singing that's like a little bit more intense. So I think I'll have to go through his content and try and see if there's stuff that I can relate to. See how to safely scream and sing with distortion. So stuff like that I think is going to help me out. But I'd still like to have like a conversation with someone. Like I'd pay for lessons, but I'd want a lesson from, or just like to have a chat with someone who knows what they're doing. But only if that person also knows how to stream and can like relate to it, because that's my main issue right now. Anyway, so all this to say, I'm throwing this out in the wild because if anyone has any like people in mind, whether it be like teachers that I can talk to through the internet or whatever, Zoom calls or stuff like that, or if there are specific like courses online that I could buy, or particular like YouTube channels or anything, if anyone has any ideas or leads as to what I'm going for, let me know. And then yeah, I'm definitely going for like the like emo post-hardcore type vocal, like high pitch range vocal for sure. And I'm only looking to record, so I don't need to be able to like, my goal isn't to increase my range. My goal isn't to be able to belt notes for like 3 hours. I don't want to perform. All I'm going to do with it is record. So I don't know if that changes anything, but in terms of screaming it did. So putting it out there. Cryptic saying, I don't know, but I have a playlist of techniques and stuff for singing and stuff. Yo, if you wanna shoot that either here or in the Discord, Cryptic, that'd be awesome. Maybe I could just sift through it and see if there's something that fits. That'd be awesome. So yeah, that's kind of that. Let me just switch back here for a second. Oh, I can do this. Okay. So that's kind of it for housekeeping. Oh, I changed my I used to listen whatever music we're listening to on stream. I used to have it on like playing on Spotify, and I didn't think it about it until I saw, like, I went to like my last FM or something like that and saw what my most listened to tracks and artists were. And it's been like completely fucking up my like my algorithms and like what I'm being suggested and all that because of the streams. I'm usually going for about 2 hours or whatever, give or take. And it's like the same like 2 or 3 albums that are playing consistently. One of them being my old band. So I'm like, I don't this is shit. I don't want to. Actually, I'm thinking about it. I think I only. Oh, that's lame. I usually have 4 albums going. Right now, I only have 2 and thing. But yeah, I switched it to like a playlist on like VLC or whatever because I realized my like my end of year results in terms of most listened to artists and songs is going to be completely fucking destroyed by the fact that I'm streaming every week the same 4 albums. So yeah, not that anyone cares about that probably, but I just thought it was interesting. Let's get into it. We've got some a pretty slow like news cycle in terms of like news in the past 2 weeks, but I did have. Yeah, honestly, I only really have like one subject to talk about, but then I put 2 subjects that I thought I could go over outside of music news, I guess. In the Discord, I had, well, I think it was you, Cryptic, that asked about different podcasts, like alternative / metal podcasts. to listen to, and I realized that I actually listened to quite a bit. So I'm gonna kind of highlight that list and kind of talk about each one, and maybe interest some people into listening to some of these podcasts, all metal related. We're going to talk about, obviously, tour announcements. There have been like 25 tours announced. So I'm in the past 2 weeks. So we're going to go quite like quick through them. Some of them anyways that are mostly bands that I don't really know about, but still bands that are a part of the scene. We're going to go talk about the Cardi B tweet that made the rounds. Cardi B posting a My Chemical Romance music video kind of got the internet going, and I'm gonna talk a bit about bands buying onto tours, but more specifically, I guess, bands wanting to have bands buying onto their tours, and kind of my opinion around that. And then we are probably going to look at a few new songs. Actually, a lot of new music has come out, but a lot of it has been like the bigger bands that I can't really check out on stream. So I have a few quote unquote smaller bands to listen to that I enjoyed or have been meaning to check out. Some I've already checked out, some I haven't. So we're gonna go through that, and then we're gonna finish off with the breakdown of the week, and that'll be it. Why is I'm confused. My live chat, like within my streaming program, is slower than the chat in my stream. Why the fuck? One sec. I have to like go up to the screen to see it. It's too fucking small for me to read. I'm gonna wait for it to pop up. But I see you read something cryptic, but it's like not popping up on my stream like thing for whatever reason. Okay, if I do top chat. Singing, thought you meant screaming. Yeah, no, screaming. I've been screaming for over 10 years, and feel like there's always room for improvement, but I feel like I've got that kind of on lock. But yeah, singing is a whole other beast for me. Also, I have my Google Doc updated. Might want to check it out in case you missed some bands. Album announcements. Cool. Did you end up looking at the Lambgo database that I sent you? I didn't like cross-reference anything, but I'm assuming that list is pretty extensive, so I'm assuming there's probably a few albums in there that weren't on the in the Google Doc. Okay, live chat seems to be back. I think it was just not stuck on. I think it was stuck on top chat for whatever reason. Okay, so let's get into it, man. We have honestly very little to go for in terms of actual news, but hey, let's take a listen to this unreleased Reflections demo that was posted a few weeks ago. Can I do this like this? Okay. Unreleased pre-pro, so we don't know if this is for a new album, something that's gonna come out, something that's not gonna come out, but I thought it sounded cool. Put the link in the Discord if you want to check it out now. Okay, cool. Thanks, Cryptic. I'm just realizing this drum kit is absolutely insane. Who's their drummer? Is it someone we know from like other projects? How many cymbals does he have, dude? And even toms. It looks like he has like a snare completely to the left. on top of like that floor tom. 2 floor toms. Jesus. Like slow and sludgy. I don't know if this is like the main idea for an entire song or just like a bit. It was not much to talk about here, but it's kind of making me want some new reflections. I'll be honest, when reflections first came out, it was kind of the riffing was super fucking cool. The ideas that they have were fucking awesome. It wasn't necessarily always like good songwriting. Sometimes it was kind of just riffs that were, I know I'm not following this guy. Riffs that were kind of stitched together that didn't necessarily really make sense, but the riffs were so fucking cool, especially at that time. It was a big gent wave. That, you know, it passed. I feel like with their latest release, they kind of went like on a just straight up heavy down tune, just going for mostly breakdowns and like a 2-step kind of vibe. That's a bit less, I guess, of a vibe for me. But I don't know. I'd be excited for new reflections nonetheless. Vocals is actually really good. I'm highlighting this real quick, but Drugs. For those of you who don't know Drugs, it's like the singer of Chiodos, with a bunch of members from other bands. The lineup, they only put out one album. The album is a banger from start to finish, and probably their first album since 2011. So their album came out in 2011, and I think it was with like I think Matt Good, the guitarist from First to Last, and a couple other people in the scene from back in the days. Now the lineup has changed. Like I think there's a guy from I Killed the Prom Queen leading through All That Remains, that have all kind of joined Craig Owens. So it's basically Craig Owens is the only like original member that's left, and then a new cast of kind of all-star like band members came in to replace the old guys. But they're coming out with a new album, and I was hesitant to, I don't know, I wasn't really like expecting anything out of it, but they put out a single called Destiny was the first single that they put out, and it was cool, but it kind of sounded like other music that you're accustomed to in 2022. But they recently put out a song called Satellites in Motion, and it straight up sounds like your favorite post-hardcore band from back in the day, and like better. It's fucking amazing. So they have a new album coming out June 17th with those 2 songs on it. I think they put out let me just see the... No, that's it. Those are 2 singles they put out as of yet, but I'm really excited now that they put out that second single. I'm excited and eager to see if there are other songs that kind of sound like that. Their original album had very different sounding singles, so I'm not necessarily expecting more of that latest single. I think if I'm basing it off those 2 first songs that have come out, they're probably going to be kind of mishmash of different style of songs. But if there's anything remotely like Satellites in Motion, I am all for it. So I'm pretty excited with this. That's that. I just wanted to touch on the new Angel Maker album for a minute. For anyone who hasn't checked it out yet, Angel Maker have put out a brand new album. They've obviously been hyping this up for a while now. They put out 4 2-song kind of EPs or whatever you want to call them, which amounts to like 8 songs, and then eventually announced this new album a couple of months ago, which encompasses those 8 singles plus like 6 more. I think it's a 14 song album if I'm not mistaken, and it is fucking awesome. I mean, most of the songs that they put out previously, like out of those 8 songs, most of them were fucking sick. And I was kind of expecting maybe like those are, I mean, 8 singles is a lot. Promoting 8 songs before a 14 song release, I was pretty much expecting all the good songs to be within those 8 and then 6 filler songs. But it's good, man, from start to finish. I really, really enjoy. They went, I mean, they've always been pretty melodic, but they went definitely a more melodic and sad route. It's very kind of melancholic. Is that how you say it? It's just sad. Like, it's sad sounding. Not necessarily like in the like subject matter, just like feel of it. I'm a sucker for more melodic deathcore. Angel Maker obviously have always kind of stuck to doing a more old school sounding deathcore that to be honest, most bands don't do. Like, I would have expected Angel Maker to be just another deathcore band that hops on whatever deathcore trend is going on right now. They could be all about doing slam right now. They could have gone down the whole beat tempo, like down tempo, like Black Tongue style phase of deathcore. They could have been through all these different iterations of what deathcore is, but they've always stuck to this melodic deathcore, fairly fast, solos in almost every song. Matt Perrin is amazing at guitar, and his solos always come out fucking amazing. And a lot of influence from like very, very, very early deathcore bands. You've got some squeals in there, but it's not overdone. You've got samples at the beginning of the songs. Like, they've always had this in their music, and they've always kind of stuck by it, but kind of reiterating on that genre every single album, and this one is no exception. It's definitely something you have to enjoy, that sort of music. But if you're into that stuff, I think it's very tastefully done. I think it's really cool. I've been talking about wanting to interview some people on the stream for a while now, and I think Mike would be a really interesting person to have on. I wouldn't want to do the regular podcast questions and stuff. I would want to dive into, I guess, different subjects when it pertains to like marketing and just like maybe some more sensitive like subjects and stuff, and the inner workings of a band business side. Angel Makers is pretty particular in the sense that their size and the hype that they've always had, without ever having a label. I'd be interested in talking to Mike about that. The way they marketed this album with like the 2-song kind of EPs leading up to this one, I'd love to have a chat with him about like what the thought process was and the efforts that went into this this release and everything. So yeah, I don't know. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Cryptic is saying, checked out new Angel Maker album. Not gonna lie, it wasn't my favorite thing in the world. Yeah, I saw you had like you rated a few albums, like a dozen albums that you had listened to in the like previous week or whatever, and you didn't give it that high up of a score. What do you if you don't mind elaborating, like what was it that you liked less about it? It just wasn't your thing, or do you enjoy like other Angel Maker albums? I've seen online a lot of people comparing it to the self-titled, the album that came before this one, saying that they enjoyed the self-titled a lot more. And I'm gonna be honest, I listened to the self-titled like a few times, like all the way through. It never really grabbed me, and I feel like this one, especially when they started putting out the singles, it just immediately grabbed me more than the self-titled. But I've been seeing like on Reddit and stuff, a lot of people saying the opposite. I don't know why. Anyways, that's just me. We've got this Knights of the Abyss news in 2022, which is always blowing my mind. I've talked about this on stream previously. Knights of the Abyss have kind of been coming back of sorts. They've been posting a bunch of throwbacks and posting videos of them jamming all together and stuff. And Wax Vessel this previous week, I think about a week ago, announced that they were doing this sort of reissue of their album Juggernaut, which was I guess like their first like full-length album that they put out. And they've put out music since then, but I think when people think of Knights of the Abyss, they obviously this album was kind of like a staple of deathcore when it came out. A lot of hype, and you know, a lot of people consider this to be one of the classic albums of deathcore from back in the days, like 06, 07, whatever year this actually came out. And then like I said, they put out music. I think they put out one album after this, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know, I think they were picked up, I think, by Metal Blade. There wasn't like as much hype around that album as this one. What's interesting here is that Wax Vessel basically does these limited runs of vinyls. That's usually what they do. They also have Vessel merch, I think it's called, which together they kind of do these packages usually of merch and vinyl. And just usually it's like bringing back old designs, and the vinyls are always like old classic kind of deathcore, mathcore albums from back in the day. And so, but they usually they get the tracks usually remastered for vinyl, and they usually always like redo album artwork and kind of make something special around it. It's obviously super limited. They never, like, these things usually sell out super fucking quick, and it's kind of a meme at this point. It's kind of expensive, but you know, you're buying into vinyl, which would be expensive regardless. But this is cool. I'm having a hard time understanding the I think it's split up on two sides, I guess. And then one side is, I think, just straight up the original album, which they weren't signed or anything, so they have the rights to it, so they just like put that in there. But then they have this excavated corpses side to it, which has a bunch of older demos. Most of these are of the same songs, but like slightly different versions and different recordings that were actually demos that were like remixed and remastered specifically for this release. They were talking about the fact that they really had to dig deep for some of these things. But, you know, some of these songs just came out on MySpace, and like, that's it. Which is crazy to think about. But a lot of music, I actually have quite a bit of music on my hard drives from back in the day that are singles that are just gone. They're lost. Like, they don't exist on Spotify. They don't exist like anywhere else. You can't buy them. You can't find them anywhere, because they lived on MySpace, and then once they were gone, they were gone. Like, at a certain point, a band would just take the demos off or take these singles off of their MySpace, and then it's just gone forever. Smart people like me use the thing to download these songs. It was always like pretty shit quality, because I think like MySpace just by default kind of lowered the quality. I have a bunch of songs that are like 128 like kilobits per second or whatever. Like shitty ass quality. But these are like demos that don't exist anymore. I'm gonna have to make like a stream or a video about like some of this stuff, because I have a lot. The second a band put out like a demo or like something that I felt would eventually be gone, I downloaded it straight away. I don't feel like it's as much of an issue now with Spotify, because most bands just like leave, like once something's on Spotify, people don't put demos on Spotify, right? That's kind of like a thing of the past. You're putting out a demo, it's like on SoundCloud or something, but like no band does that anymore. So people only put out like super like finished and polished music, so we don't really have that anymore. But even if it were the case, it would keep living on Spotify, right? Until Spotify doesn't exist anymore. That's like a real conversation. What happens when Spotify's down or doesn't exist anymore? You don't own any of that music. A lot of this music is just gonna poof, evaporate. It's gonna be gone. I mean, I love the convenience of Spotify. I use Spotify for all my music and podcast listening, but as like a music collector, as someone who used to rip songs off of MySpace, that whole ecosystem freaks me the fuck out, man. Anyways, back to Knights of the Abyss. Really, really cool stuff going on here. Let me stop the music for a sec. And, I mean, these songs actually sound decent considering the demos they come from. That's cool, because any, like, Knights of the Abyss nerd is gonna notice the differences and stuff. Oh, talking about the Angel Maker album. Not sure. It just wasn't my thing. I think they have a few vocalists, so it just kind of sounded odd to me. Yeah, they have two. They have two like main vocalists, like actual frontmen. But they don't cross over too much in terms of what the style they perform is. It is a lot of like layering and both of them at the same time. But yeah. But then I think like two other people in the band also do backup vocals. It was a lot more present on the self-titled. They had a oh yeah, the music was super loud. Yeah, okay. Thanks. I'll turn it down. Yeah, on the self-titled they started experimenting with like having more well, straight up just having like the guitarists do backup vocals too, but not really backup vocals, like actually have like full lines and stuff. And that to me, I think, was what kind of took me off of the self-titled, but they toned it down on this album, I feel. They all have great voices, but like force a lot. Also put my album of the year page on the Discord if you want to see what I listened to so far in 2022. All right, cool. Dang, these chats are really delayed. Is the actual chat on YouTube delayed too? Because it's normal for it to be delayed on YouTube, I guess, just because well, like on the stream itself, I guess, just because there's a latency. It comes to me, and then there's a certain latency after that. But to go back to YouTube, but the actual like live chat is like it takes a while for the things to come in. Because I'm reading off of just the live chat like on YouTube. I've just not been looking enough. My bad, dude. But yeah, anyways, check out the Wax Vessel release. What I find particularly cool about these new releases is despite the fact that the vinyls are super limited and somewhat expensive, they don't gatekeep it in the sense that if you don't get the vinyl, you can't listen to the songs. They always put the songs up on Bandcamp as well, and they usually come out before the actual the vinyls actually get put out for pre-orders and stuff. And dude, this artwork is so fucking sick. I really dig this artwork. I don't normally like this type of like alien, like outer space type of death metal artwork, but I find this one super cool. Kind of reminds me of Destiny. Ships kind of looking like this. Well, yeah, check it out. It's like 20 songs total. Obviously, some repeats in there, but it's super interesting to see if you actually know the original songs and those demos and stuff, which I have some of those demos. I should actually take some time to compare the demos from back in the days and like these. But yeah, it's just, I think it's a cool piece of kind of classic history, if you ask me. That's that. That's that. That's kind of it for honestly for like news. There really hasn't been much. I wanted to real quick while we're on Twitter. Where the fuck do I profile? I just wanted to show this real quick because what the fuck, man. Cardi B on Twitter. They don't make music like this anymore. Posting a my cam music video. Obviously kind of crazy to see. So a lot of the entire alternative emo post-hardcore scene kind of fucking blew up around this. Obviously a bunch of bands posting their music and stuff, and you know, I think it's a fair statement. They don't make music like this anymore. There isn't much. There's a comeback, but it's not like back in the days. But then this band called Save Face, it's weird because this band, I've been seeing the name around because they're on tour right now. So I've had a few music photographers that I follow do take photos of them and post them. So I've actually seen the name Save Face a few times recently, but never actually checked them out or didn't even know what kind of music they made. I just knew I'd seen the name literally in the past week. And then they replied with their album on Twitter to this post, and I check it out, and it's actually really fucking good, and actually sounds quite a bit like My Chemical Romance from back in the day. It's really cool. Their album's from 2021. They have some other singles they put out. I don't know if they have other like albums. They're a younger band, and like it sounds fucking awesome. So I tweeted out like, "Here's 2022, and I'm finding out about awesome emo bands." In a Cardi B Twitter thread, what has life become? Like, for real. What the fuck, man? But yeah, if you don't know of Safe Face, check out Safe Face. It's actually, I think, yeah, they're on Epitaph. I don't know why I hadn't heard of them before, but they're doing this whole emo thing really good. It's more like on the rock, really like My Chem. You know, it's a bit more rock. It's not like screamo. It's not like the screamo side of emo. It's really more on the rock side. Fall Out Boy, My Chem, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to point this out because like, what the hell, man. Let's hop into the Discord. I'm gonna check out some of the stuff that Cryptic says he's linked. I didn't post this. Let's say, yeah, okay. So we've got here, and the Google Doc. Okay, let's do this here. I'm not going to spend too much time on this Cryptic, all right? But I promise I'll be checking it out off stream as well. I've got quite a few things I want to touch on this stream, and as I mentioned earlier on, I don't have too much time today. I'm gonna have to dip after a little bit, so I'm gonna go through this here still. But no offense if I kind of gloss over it real quick. So let's start with this here. So if anyone's in the Discord, which you should be, let me. Slow here. If anyone's not in the Discord yet, the Discord is linked in the description, and it's just a cool place to hang out. We've got it split up by different genres. We're just talking about different types of music and going through new releases and talking about different genres of metal, and we've just got like a general chat which has been popping off lately. It's cool. Actually, I got a few people like talking every day and stuff, and actually having actual conversations about metal and stuff. So if anyone wants to follow along, there is the Google Doc. Cryptic put these two things: album of the year and the Google Doc of upcoming albums, most anticipated albums of 2022. I think you can actually edit it directly, so don't fuck around with it. But if you've got anything to add to it, please do. And yeah. So most anticipated albums of 2022. We've got a pretty extensive list here. Released records that I've heard. Okay, so first off, you list the records that you actually listen to, which he's been actually posting a lot in the Discord as well, kind of like reviews and opinions on albums that have come out. So as you can see, he's checked out a lot. Charlie XCX, the album is out March 18th. It came out yesterday, dude. Oh man, I need to check that out ASAP. I know what I'm listening to on my way to see the wife later. No fucking way. I didn't realize it was out. Okay, I'm super stoked. What are your opinions on the new Charlie album? Maybe you've got it written down on your album of the year thing, but released records that I haven't heard. All right, let's go through this. Okay, Shadow of Intent. You have to listen to this one. It's definitely like fairly like death metal-y. It's less deathcore if you exclude the vocals. But even considering the vocals, it's a lot more on the death metal side than what we're used to from Shadow of Intent. But it's got a really cool production. It's got cool ideas. It's got different riffing as well than what we're used to from Shadow of Intent. But I think that makes for some cool tracks. I haven't been listening to it too much since it came out, but first listen I listened all the way through and thoroughly enjoyed it. Enterprise Earth's album, I've checked this one out. I have a hard time with it, man. Some songs are awesome. Some songs are just weird, man. Like thrashy kind of, I don't know, man. Some of the songs on there just really not my vibe. Landmarks though. Have you heard? I mean, this is like a reissue. There's a few extra songs on it, which are amazing, by the way. But the album in and of itself, like originally, is fucking awesome, dude. If you like bands that are like super diverse, they go from like really heavy to kind of pop punk to like a hardcore riff and everything in between, but it actually works. He like raps some bits, he sings, he screams, highs, lows. They like kind of do it all. It's really fucking good. Like I cannot overstate how technically speaking from like a songwriting perspective, considering how many fucking genres they're mashing together, how good this album is. I haven't checked out anything else by Landmarks. I don't know if they have earlier material. I'm assuming they do, but this album is fucking sick. Haven't even heard the original album besides a few songs. Yeah, you gotta check it out, man. I'm actually knowing a bit what you're into. I think you're gonna dig this one. I really do. Speaking of the Charlie album, I guess not gonna lie, was my favorite. Maybe it's because I enjoy the more hyperpop stuff. Yeah, I mean, I got into Charlie for Sucker, so anything she's made after that has been completely like different. I think I'd say I enjoy the hyperpop stuff for sure, but it just depends what, like if she pivots into like another direction, it just depends what direction she goes, I guess. That's kind of like what's gonna decide if I enjoy it or not. It could be super pop for all I know. I'd probably be down. It just has to not be bland. It has to be something to it. I think that's what some of the hyper pop stuff she does. I think that's what like makes it interesting, because it's like it's eclectic, it's out there, it's in your face. So I do gravitate towards the hyper pop stuff too. But I think there's been such a like weird hype around hyper pop and stuff. That maybe she's just, I'm convinced she's trying to get herself out of that stereotype. Like, for sure. As she gets bigger and stuff. Confirmed releases. What am I excited for here? I don't really have too much stuff that I'm like super looking forward to. I'm excited for Body Snatcher to come out. The singles that have come out so far are fucking amazing. Wind Waker, I am really excited for as well. Greyhaven, I've always kind of had a bit of a hard time with them, but I checked out a single not too long ago, like last week or something, and I really fucking enjoyed it. So I'm gonna give this album a chance, for sure. Hollow Front, I have seen that name everywhere ever since they signed with Unified. Everywhere. And I don't get it. I'm sorry. No offense, but I don't understand the hype. It sounds like a lot of what we've already heard before. Personally. But maybe this album is going to change my mind. What I've heard so far, it's not bad. It's just A Bleed From Within. I'm super excited for this album. I really enjoy everything this band puts out. They put out a single a week or so ago. Great song. They're going more chorus, clean singing, chorus heavy songs, which kind of scares me. They've always been good, but they've always just kind of had like one or two on the album as like a hit and then like a single, and then the rest kind of goes back to good old Bleed From Within. But I think they've been taking it further and further, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Actually, Hollow Front got into a car accident recently, but I dig them. Yeah, I saw that. There's a GoFundMe for that. I think like it actually went pretty well. I think what came out of it was like their merch guy was injured, which anyone being injured sucks. So I hope he's okay. Obviously there's some things that money can't really buy back. Their van setup though, like the van itself looked really fucking cool. And looking at the damage, I have a feeling they're gonna have to scrap it and just get a new one. They like were able to get a decent chunk of money out of the GoFundMe and stuff, so they'll probably buy something new. But like that particular vehicle, I don't even feel like I've seen before. And like I've looked a lot into like Sprinter type vehicles and stuff just for like me and the wife. And I've never seen one that kind of looked like that. There are like some of these bigger kind of like camper, like they're made to be like slept in and stuff, that kind of have like a wider back and extend a bit further like in the lengthwise, but they don't look like whatever they had. So hoping I don't know, kind of hurts the soul to see that. Static Dress, they've been killing it, man. They've been doing some really cool touring, and all of their songs have been fucking spot on. So yeah, excited for that one as well. Rumored or unnamed. Yeah, I mean, most bands that are active, I guess, are presumably writing new material that'll eventually come out. But I'm assuming this is all stuff that was actually talked about. Also, Scaring Kids is back. I'm not sure if you've seen that. Yeah, I don't know why I've never really been a fan of them, but I just think I had the impression that they were a different type of band. I didn't see them as like being like an emo band for whatever reason. I don't know why. So honestly, I'm gonna have to go check out their older stuff. And then this new album, from what I saw, has like featurings for like every single song, like guest vocalists and stuff. Also, Issues is working on a new record, but we'll be doing features instead of a main vocalist. Oh, so that's what it is. Okay, so every single song on Scary Kids, Scaring Kids album has a different singer because I guess their original singer isn't in the band anymore. I didn't understand it that way, but that, I mean, that makes complete sense. So Issues is doing the same thing for a new record. All right. That's like weird to me. Like it's cool because like it creates these like really cool experiences and really awesome music. Like I love the idea. But to tour it afterwards, it's like kind of weird. 100% true. Hi, Jesus. Hey, what's up? I usually don't have my hair down, but yes, definitely Jesus looking motherfucker when I have my hair loose. Has Noah of Bad Omens and Spencer of Under Earth on the Issues record? Oh, the original singer of... See, that's how disconnected and how I've really never like followed Scaring Kids. I didn't realize the original singer passed away. And the original singer of Issues got added as a Predator. Yeah, I saw that though. Nah, that's no good. But yeah, I mean, all these are cool. I mean, Brand of Sacrifice, obviously, super stoked for that. They were in LA, I presume. I mean, they were doing a photo shoot from what I saw, and it looked really similar to that Lorna Shore photo shoot that went up for Rock Sound. I don't know if it's for the same, like it's probably for a magazine cover. Having them fly out for a photo shoot like that. I don't know if it's got anything to do with a new album, but oh, okay, the Spencer and them was for Scary Kids. Okay. Lorna Shore, new album, obviously gonna be cool. Dance Gavin Dance. I think that album has been done for a while too, so I'm assuming this is gonna come out sooner than later. But at the same time, they've announced like a few tours that are kind of imminent. I guess their US tour is pretty soon, and I think they have a Euro tour we're gonna get to, I guess, in the... I think it's in what we're gonna check out after. I think it's in June, something like that. And there's no branding about it. There's nothing. It's not to promote a new album, so definitely gonna come later than sooner. But dude, Pierce the Veil's new album, that has to come out. That just has to come out ASAP. I think this is my most anticipated album right now, and has been for years at this point, like for sure. I love Pierce the Veil, man. Did you hear the new singles from the Scary Kids album? One of them has an Ice Nine Kill feature. But no, I haven't. Like I said, I heard one song. I don't remember what the single was. I think it was the first one when they announced the album. I don't know if that's the one with the Ice Nine Kill feature. And that's where I kind of realized, like, oh, this is not the style that I thought they were. So I definitely just need to do a deep dive, check out the singles, check out the old. I think at the end of March, Tillian said when the flowers start to bloom, so spring, the end of March. Yeah, but we're almost at the end of March and they haven't put out a singles. They haven't like announced it or anything. So they're definitely gonna, once they announce it, it's gonna take a few more months before it actually comes out, like for sure. That's how they've always done it. I doubt they're gonna surprise us with a new record. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be after that Euro tour, or else they would have branded it around it, I'm sure. I know timing and everything are weird, but have you ever been to the state of Maine? There's no shot I haven't, but let me I know it's not too far from where I am, but let me just check a map here. Maine. So, you know what? I might have never been to Maine. Cuz I've never been to Portland, Maine, and we've been meaning to for the longest time now. And I don't think we've ever played shows in the past in Maine, man. But dude, I live here, dude. Like, I'm so close. And like, we always, I mean, not because of COVID, we usually like 2, 3, 4 times a year go to Vermont. Like, we go to Burlington all the time. Whereas, like, Burlington is here. So, obviously, like, 2, 3 times closer from home than what Maine is. But technically speaking, I'm like 2 hours away from Maine. And we've been meaning to go to Portland. I'm allergic to seafood and fish. So, not that that's like the main reason why we haven't been, but I'm like, you know, my wife's gonna be able to enjoy Maine a lot more than I will. But apparently it's fucking beautiful there. Why do you live in Maine? 100% true. Are you a part of the Discord, or do I know you personally? Because I have no clue with the name 100% true who you are, but okay. So Kirtek's asking about my opinion of the lowest ratings on that review page, which is a good segue into here. What is albumoftheyear.org? So you can rate albums, I guess. I've actually never been on this website before. Best. Okay, so then I guess afterwards you can just view what your highest ratings are, recent ratings, album rating distribution. So you've mainly been around this 70 to 79, 80 to 89 range. Okay, I see it. Ooh, you got 2 in the 0 to 9 though. I'm awful and horrific. So that's what I want to see. Reviews. Can I sort through like wait, I can't sort by like ratings. Can I do it like this? Perfect scores, like, okay, show albums here, and then lowest rated. Let's do that. 2022. It's giving me why is it not? Oh no, date rated. It stayed there, right? Lowest rated. Is it gonna do it? Okay. You gotta press hit all. I'm not seeing hit all, but I mean I have it here, I guess. Okay, Tom McDonald. I can see that. I'm gonna comment more. Avril Lavigne, Love Sucks. I mean, I didn't realize the album was out. Is this just a LP? I didn't realize the album was out. Whatever singles she's put out, I've actually kind of enjoyed. It's Avril Lavigne. It's not like, definitely not your tough guy music, but it's definitely, I would have expected a lot worse from Avril in 2022 for sure. Skillet, honestly, I've never listened to Skillet. You have the new Skillet album pretty low. Yeah, I assume they're what I call cock rock or like cock metal. I've never really. I rarely go listen to these bands that like I know I'm not gonna, or like I assume I'm not gonna enjoy. I guess I have a bit more of a closed mind than a lot of people on that front. And I'm definitely like, it's definitely making me miss some releases that I would have otherwise really enjoyed. But I feel like I'm also saving myself some time and brain cells by skipping some of these releases. But no, I can't comment on that Skillet album, but I can imagine it being a 45 out of a 100. Oliver Tree, Cowboy Tears. I mean, it's comedy, right? Oliver Tree's, it's basically all comedy, and his persona is that it's not comedy, but I mean, I can't say I'd listen to Oliver Tree like seriously and like consider it like amazing music. I don't think that's what is it's more of like a comedy show, you know? Like going to see him live, like I know it's music, but it's meant to be funny and shit. The song Cowboy Tears, all right. On and on and on and on and on. I mean, it's, that other song, I don't know, it's not on this album, but like it's not kind of annoying. Like I wouldn't consider it like great music for sure. Kim Petras Slut Pop. See, again, didn't. Oh, so it's an EP. I didn't even realize other songs came out with this. She has one of. I discovered Kim Petras. I don't know how to say it. I discovered her music this year, actually, with whatever that like horror influenced. This album is a banger. Turn Off the Lights is crazy from start to finish. A few songs that are a little bit more hyperpop actually, which I, for whatever reason, dig less. But dude, this album is so fucking good. I listened to it nonstop for like a few weeks when I first found out. And yeah, I've been kind of disappointed by everything else that I've heard, unfortunately. I have no clue who Yard Act is. Voivod, I mean, that's like just straight up music I know I don't enjoy. Just like that old school. They're from here, actually, and I just the old school metalheads here in Montreal like put this band up on like such a pedestal because they're like from here and shit, and like have toured a bunch and were completely ahead of their time when they first came out. But like in 2022, whatever. Yeah, I don't know much of what's coming up afterwards. I need to check out Zeal and Ardor. Real quick, I only heard a song real quick. I have a feeling they're like a watered down kind of Sleep Token. So maybe it'll prove me wrong. I've been meaning to actually check it out. But yeah, I'm gonna skip ahead just because what time is it? 2:12. Man, okay. I gotta get moving on. We're probably not gonna check out like new music. I'm gonna go through like tour announcements, and I have like two things I wanted to talk about, like beefier subjects. I've been going on for almost an hour and a half and haven't gone to a single subject. So we're gonna speed it up just a bit. Tour announcements. We're gonna go through this real quick, especially the stuff that I don't necessarily have as many things to say about them. We're gonna start from the bottom and go back up. And then I have like two different tours that I have a bit of expanding to do, and the new Zeal and Ardor is like black metal infused with truck commercial music. Okay, yeah, so the vibe I got from them was what's their fucking name? No. Why am I blanking now? Fuck. I gotta find this real quick. What? Hold on just 1 second. Going through my artists on Spotify. Probably not gonna find it this way. It's gonna piss me off. Come on. No. Why can't I find it? Am I actually gonna have to... Almost there, and the S's. No shot, am I not gonna find it? Oh, this fucking Spotify artist list is botched, man. It doesn't put everything... It doesn't put... I think you have to, like, follow the artist or something. If you don't have, like, a full album, it doesn't consider it, like, in your artist list or some shit like that. This is stupid just to make a point, but it's gonna piss me off if I don't figure it out. Let me just... Here, and videos here. Oh shit, this is really... No, why can't I find it? Arcane Roots. Fuck, man. Why was that fucking so hard to remember? Arcane Roots. That's what Zeal and Ardor made me feel, reminded me of. Jesus. But if you want to hear something that sounds like Sleep Token, check out Cold Night for Alligators and their new album Thor Hindsight Notes. It's like Sleep Token, but core post-rock sounding. Bruh. Yeah, Sleep Token was like a big hit for me. Not their album they just put out, but the one before that. I fucking loved it. So I'm going to check out the randomest, most randomly named band, Cold Night for Alligators, with their equally random name, Thor Hindsight Notes. I'm gonna check it out off stream though, but that actually really interests me. Okay, let's get into tours. Can I do this? Have I? No, I can't. Okay, so Follow Troy announced a few Cali dates leading up to Swanfest. Swanfest has Hail the Sun and See You Space Cowboy as well. So they're doing this. They're doing this couple of dates together, leading up to that. I mean, this is just a cool tour because Follow Troy is like one of my one of the bands that got me into like more like mathy kind of metal and stuff. And See You Space Cowboy is one of my like more recent like favorite bands. I do not know in the background, and I will be checking out because of this. There has been this Singularity, Symbiotic, and Flub. This is a bunch of homies on this tour doing your typical kind of West Coast tour, kind of going in the middle of the States, but more of a West Coast tour with West Coast bands. So this is just a cool tour for the homies. I follow Strawberry Girls, so I put this out, but Thank You Scientist, that name has been around for fucking ever, and I can't even tell you what they sound like. But Thank You Scientist and Strawberry Girls, like I said, there's like 20 tours to get through, so I'm gonna get through this a bit quicker. Origin announced this tour with Abysmal Dawn, Tombs, and Clitoris. Clitoris are from Ottawa, from like where I grew up. Yeah, they haven't really been doing anything, so I was pretty surprised to see them on this flyer. I think they're you know, like buddies with the guys in Origin or something like that. But for however that worked out, this is a pretty cool tour for them. Starts in Albuquerque, ends in Kansas. This is like a weird kind of trek. A lot of West Coast too, but they're doing a few Canadian dates, but all on the west side. So Vancouver, Calgary, Winnipeg. They're like in the smack middle of Canada. It's super random, but I mean, there's like virtually no shows there. So a lineup like this is actually going to do probably really well. Dickens Pub is a cool venue. So that's that. Enterprise Earth announced a tour with Within Destruction, Sentinels, and Great American Ghost. So this is really similar to the tour with, I guess it was Fit for an Autopsy, Enterprise Earth, I think Sentinels, and Great American Ghost. So I don't know if it's just they all became buddies throughout that tour, so they wanted to tour some more together. I'm assuming they're hitting different markets than, because this is a pretty extensive tour. This is a month-long tour all across the U.S., so I'm assuming they're hitting like B or C markets as opposed to that other tour. I'm not crazy, right? Like this was the exact same lineup minus Within Destruction, but this is a cool opportunity for Within Destruction coming over to the US. Obviously they're not from here, so a little international trek for the boys. Cool lineup. I fucking love Great American Ghost. Yeah, so that's that. I mean, I'm just bringing this up because this year, Dying Wish and Wargasm and Scowl, all playing with Limp Bizkit. Like Wargasm is doing the entire tour. That is huge. Like this kind of a tour, like these are arena shows for sure, right? Tours like this can blow up bands, like especially smaller bands that people don't really like, don't have a big following. I don't know how big Wargasm like actually is, but definitely nowhere near like the kind of like fame that Limp Bizkit had, right? So Limp Bizkit bringing out all these like smaller bands and like really different sounding bands than themselves is pretty fucking cool. Maybe these are buy-ons. We're gonna talk about that in a second. I have no idea, but this is cool regardless. I think Strawberry Girls is like prog, math rock, almost Dance Gavin Dance, but more jazz fusion-ish. I don't know though. Only know a few songs about that. Yeah, I mean that's pretty accurate. Yeah, I love Strawberry Girls. It's Kurt Travis is in or performs on a few songs with Strawberry Girls. And which is the old singer of Dance Gavin Dance. They're all like they're all friends. Wargasm is friends with Debloons, I think, and they did a song together. That's cool. Yeah, I really dig Death Bloom since you showed me. Darkest Hour, Toxic Holocaust, Zao, and Bloodlet. A Darkest Hour, man. I grew up on this band. I love Darkest Hour, especially like the earlier material. Just such a good melodic sounding kind of metalcore band from back in the days. Not really. I mean, metalcore in the sense of what it used to be, but not. It's more thrash. Yeah, I guess more like for the time was like new thrash. Like it definitely wasn't thrash, but there's definitely thrash influence in there. But super melodic. I always loved Darkest Hour. This flyer sucks. I hate this flyer with the west and east. I don't know who came up with that idea and how like spaced out everything is. You can Cryptic, you can probably vouch for me on this one from a graphic design standpoint. This flyer fucking sucks. So that's that. By the Thousands, In Search of Solace, they're buddies. They're both from Twin Cities. I don't know about Waste if they're from there too. I guess Twin Cities Takeover. Maybe they're all from the same. I guess I want to say Minnesota, but I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, just a small run in the US for these guys. We've got Spiritbox announcing some Euro tours. There's another flyer a bit further up, I think, for some shows at O2 in the UK. So I guess this is kind of following that. Spirit Box doing some headliner shows, which is cool to see. I think the bigger these guys get, the cooler their headline shows are going to be. I mean, they're at a point where they can sell tickets, man. They've been doing like, again, like they did that Limp Bizkit tour, which is huge for them. Spirit Box has somehow, despite their hype, been playing on tours that have like bigger bands than them. But it's cool to see them do some headline stuff. Have the light shined on them. Honestly, it's okay, but the poster looks boring. Yeah, it's definitely boring, that's for sure. Limbs going out with Greyhaven. Pretty extensive US tour. This is what this is getting me excited. Because Pierce the Veil actually playing shows means, like, you know, they're getting it together. It's chill. They're all playing. We don't know if their drummer is, like, the brother of the dude or whatever is actually going to come back or not after the allegations. There's been no talk about that. We don't know if he's going to be on the new album. So these shows might kind of show that. I mean, O2 Forum, they're playing some big venues. Academy, O2 Academy. These are huge shows for Pierce the Veil, but only in the UK, and this is in December. This is a ways from now. So, I mean, I'm expecting to hear more from the Pierce the Veil camp between now and then, but so far, this is all we've got. So, it's just cool to see them act. I know they've actually been recording. They've been posting studio clips and stuff, but or like stories or whatever, and not really of like any music or whatever, but it's confirmed that they're actually like working on this album. But to be fair though, I don't expect flyers to look amazing though. Yeah, I mean, I just hate a cheap flyer. I'm not expecting flyers to like wow me. I do really enjoy, like, there have been a few examples of like animated flyers like lately that I find super cool for anything online, but I get that. I'm not expecting the flyers to be like crazy off the wall, but just at least not shit, you know? Some semblance of, like, I don't know. I look at this and it's just the simple things. Like you see where it's like where it cuts off and it actually makes, like, it's straight. It fits together. There's like clear lines. It's a big artwork, but then like everything is clear on it. There's no, I don't know. I look at this flyer and I'm like, cool. Who has allegations? The drummer in Pierce the Veil. Not long before COVID, he was kind of outed and was kicked out from the band, or he left the band or whatever. But we haven't heard since. He's like the brother, I think, of the singer. So it's like, who knows what's gonna? They've been like radio silent. So who knows? Bro Job announcing this tour with Falsifier, the homies in Falsifier. This is cool. Kind of your run-of-the-mill, kind of smaller tier tour for the boys. Where are they playing? The Slam House. Now that's a good name for a venue. Riff House. Alright, so that's that. Converge. Few dates in the UK. I don't know what's with the UK. Why are all these bands announcing UK tours? Are like the restrictions like way different there? For a time, the UK was the complicated place to go for bands because they have like different rulings than the rest of Europe. I say the rest of Europe, but like you know what I mean, like Europe. What am I getting here? my wife just texted me. My brother is getting tattooed. My brother and my mom are getting tattooed right now by my wife. And I have a tattoo like just above my knee. And like of all my tattoos, like I've got my full arm, I've got my hand, I have a bunch on my legs now. And of all the tattoos I've ever gotten, it just says "yeah" with a period. It's like three letters. when she first put the needle into my skin just above my knee, I got up from my chair. Like it hurt that bad. It was the worst pain from tattooing that I've ever gotten was right there. And I've known someone that had a similar experience. He like tapped out after like after a letter. Yeah, so my wife just texted me saying that my brother is getting tattooed in the same place, and he didn't get up from the chair. I fucking hate them. Ever played in Montana? Damn, I'm gonna have to bring up the map again, dude. Can't keep doing this to me. Truth be told, I couldn't tell. I have a feeling I haven't. And dude, I've been to a lot of places in the US, like a lot. I've toured three full US tours, and some of those were like oh wait, I just gotta pull this back up here. And yeah, it's just so three full US tours with Depths, and then I took a 3-month road trip with my wife after I left the band, all across the US, but we did the East Coast really quick. We basically left Florida and went straight home in like literally like 2 days. We just drove nonstop. I think we drove, we slept, and then drove again, and we were home after 2 days. It was shitty weather too. But I've been to most places in the States, but the north part of the States, Montana. What's in Montana? What are the big cities in Montana? Close to Idaho, like I feel like I've driven, because we've played Spokane. So I'm pretty this rings a bell here. So I'm assuming we drove through, but I don't think I've ever played a show in Montana. I'm trying to look at like the cities. Is there no like big city in Montana? Like I feel like I don't recognize any of these city names. Because we've passed through, like, we've been from Salt Lake and been to Spokane. So that kind of pretty much has to pass through Montana. So I've been to Montana, but I don't think I've ever played a show. And we didn't go on a road trip. We didn't do Montana because we did we left here and we went all the way through like Route 66, like this, all the way to top of New Mexico, kind of like in a straight line. That's what Route 66 does. And like from Chicago. So we left here, stayed in Chicago, and then Route 66 from Chicago kind of goes to the top of New Mexico. And then we went, I guess like this, to get to Seattle. Kind of like whatever the highways are from New Mexico. We did this like that. We went through Utah for sure, Idaho for sure. I don't think we hit Montana. So we must have just skimmed through. And then we did down the West Coast. Stayed in Cali for almost a month, kind of moving around in Cali. Stayed a few weeks in Los Angeles. And then we did a few weeks going across the bottom here. So Arizona, New Mexico. We got married in Vegas. Texas, we spent some time in Texas. Louisiana, we stayed in New Orleans for a few days. That was fucking awesome. I hadn't actually spent time in Louisiana before with a band or anything. And then went to Florida. Went to Walt Disney for like a week. That was kind of like our honeymoon thing. And then we went straight back to Montreal. But all our tours started and ended in California. All the US touring we did, the three times that we went. 2 of them were a month and a half because we would do we would do like a 3 to 4 week tour across the US, but then we'd end up in fucking Cali. And we live here. So we'd always have to book like some dates on the way there. We'd usually do like a few dates really quick from like here to Cali. And then we'd usually book like another 3 weeks to get back home, because it didn't make sense to just like go straight home and like lose out on gas. There's only one of them. I had to get back for my brother's wedding. So we just drove straight 3 days. Santa Cruz to Montreal, 3 days. And we went through like the Sequoia like forest, and we did the Grand Canyon. Those were the two things we did. We basically drove nonstop. Aside from that, and so we'd usually always do like a 3-week like South and East Coast tour to get back home with like other bands to get back home, because if not, it was just like, it just didn't make sense. We'd lose all our profit in like putting money into the gas tank. It's ridiculous. So we'd hit up like B and C market tours, like cities for like that second tour, to, you know, because we'd go through some of the same like areas, but you know, we'd play different cities. We'd never play like a city twice on like those 2 tours back to back. You ever? Oh wait, okay. So yeah, have I ever played in Montana? No. Now you're asking me about Montana and you're asking me about Maine. What's like? Do you live in either or? Because those are like completely different places. Why the interest? You keeping track of my movements? What's going on? Cribs is saying, posted my own flyer I made in the art channel. Maybe want to know if it looks good. Didn't finish it though. Okay, I'm gonna go check it out. Let me just go through this real quick. You ever gotten a tattoo you later? Oh, Santa Cruz, Montreal was brutal. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Cedric was there. Hey, Cedric, what's going on, man? Cedric's the GOAT. Yeah, we did like a three week tour, and then Santa Cruz and Montreal like nonstop. Celebrated my birthday in a Burger King. Whatever their equivalent of like a McFlurry is, was my no, they had these little cakes, these little slices of cake. That's what I had for my birthday as like a birthday cake. And then back into the van, straight driving through the night. You ever gotten a tattoo you later regretted having? Nah, man. I mean, I've never had well, I can't say that. The only tattoos that I have that are like that have meaning, quote unquote, and this is used very loosely, are like matching tattoos that I got with my wife. Don't forget the crown. What crown? The one you dropped? Yeah, so I mean, I have like matching tattoos with my wife. They're never like the same tattoo, but we have multiple tattoos where it's like the same subject matter by like the same artist, but just done like at like different like at the same time, but you know, back to back. And I mean, I'm still with my wife, so far so good. Oh, the crown and Burger King. I think I've wanted a crown in Burger King ever since I've been too old to have one, which is like, what, 8 years old? The second you're like 9 years old, you probably don't get a crown anymore. I've always wanted one. So I got a crown for my birthday. Fuck yeah, I forgot about that. But you did drop a crown, Cedric. You don't forget it. Pick it up, dude. Here, you drop this. Yeah, anyways, every other tattoo I've got is kind of just what it is. I've never like been too into like giving things meaning. And my wife started tattooing a few months ago, almost a year-ish at this point, and a little less than a year, and I've fully given her my 2 legs. She can do whatever she wants with them. So she did her first tattoo on me, and I've got like 5 now, I think, from her. And obviously they're not like, her first tattoos weren't the craziest, like most beautiful, perfect tattoos, but that's kind of the point. Like, that's cool. It's not like I'm getting it on my face or anything. They're on my they're on my legs, and both my legs are just like patches of random tattoos. So no, that's all that to say. I don't have a tattoo that like I regret having, for sure. Real kings get crowns. Yeah. Yo, I was talking about tour announcements. Let's get back to it. I'm gonna skip this, okay? I'll come back to it. Got this week-long thing. Cannibal Corpse. You're not gonna make me say this band name. And 200 Stab Wounds. That's that. Decorated Birth, Pathology, Condemned. This is cool. I don't really know these 2 other bands, but this is a pretty extensive tour, so this is cool. Decorated Birth always has like a decent turnouts. What is playing right now? Unless there's too much of a delay, but this has been playing for the past 3 minutes. This song is called Exodus from my old band called Depths of Hatred on the album Hellborn. Here, okay. Yeah, I really like Pathology. They're like not my type of band, like typically, but I really enjoy what they do, especially the more recent stuff they've put out. Cool. It's like slam, but a bit more death metal-y. I don't know. I dig it. We're going a bit further back now, but I like some of this was announced last week and I didn't stream. So Thrice with Bayside. This is a huge fucking tour. US tour. I don't know. Not much to say about it, but that's that. Cane Hill, Afterlife Victims, and Mood Ring. Mood Ring apparently has been getting all the buzz in like the underground scene, and I need to check more of Mood Ring. Cane Hill's later material, like more recent stuff, I've really been digging as well. I was not really a fan before that, but the singles they've been putting out for a new album that's coming out, I've been digging. I've been thoroughly enjoying. Okay, I'm gonna skip this. Come back in a sec. This is the last thing. Viscera going on tour with Saya. Viscera is one of my favorite bands in the genre. It's kind of weird. I mean, I'd consider them deathcore, but when you really start listening to it, I was thinking about this in the car like this week. I think Viscera are like, take a band like Parkway Drive, like very classic sounding metalcore, but give them a lot of testosterone and maybe some like just giving them like a lot of testosterone, so they play like Parkway Drive style metalcore risk, but like way faster, and when they get heavy, they get really heavy. But it's kind of like a metalcore type vocal that you don't usually get in a deathcore band. But it's got breakdowns, but the riffs aren't like cliche deathcore, but I think altogether it kind of sounds more like deathcore just because of the speed. They have like clean singing-ish gang vocals and stuff. It's like deathcore, but not. But they've been touring with a lot of like, you know, with Asaya is like super deathcore. So I mean, they fit with that crowd for sure. But it's just, I have a hard time like describing. Definitely like original in that sense, and that's the main reason why I fuck with them. But yeah, they're doing this UK tour, but they're from the UK, so that makes sense. Curtis saying, I love Mood Ring. They're like heavy shoegazy Deftone stuff. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I'm not like a Deftones type fan, and nor am I too big into like shoegaze and stuff like that. But the little bit that I've heard of Mood Ring is fairly rock, you know? Alternative. I did enjoy, so I need to do a deep dive. They just put out some new music too, like a new single like a day or two ago. That's what I heard. It sounded cool, so I need to check more out. Okay, this right here. yeah, My Chemical Romance putting out this flyer. They're like so big that they can do whatever the fuck they want. That's what I get from this, and it's true. My Chemical Romance, ever since they've come back, any show that they've announced, they've so far have been putting out like fairly limited shows. All of the shows have sold out like immediately. Like their comeback is fucking huge. So this flyer, what makes me like what gives off the vibes for me that they can do, they're acting like they can do whatever the fuck they want, is the fact that this flyer has like no dates on it. It's got them at the top and then just like a list of artists, but it just says go to our website for details. And then you go to their website and there you have the dates. Like you can go to tickets and see the dates. No breakdown of who's playing what date, because obviously all of these bands are just playing select dates. And most of these bands are all completely different. And some of these bands might be your favorite band and others not so much. So when this initially came out, their song "Show Me the Real You" is amazing. Okay, from Mood Ring. Yeah, okay, I'll check that out. Yeah, so that lineup is sick. Yeah, but here's the thing. Like they it's usually gonna be them and like maybe two other bands. That's what I'm feeling from this. And at the time of when they posted this, I think like news outlets were kind of piecing together what bands were playing when by seeing who was announcing stuff on their own socials. So for example, Water Parks put out a tweet saying like, hey, we're gonna be on these dates with My Chemical Romance. So people were kind of able to put together like what the lineups were for each date, but not really, because Water Parks were like one of the only bands that actually did that. So some of these bands that came out, some others like Taking Back Sunday or Thursday, I think both of those bands haven't posted about the tour whatsoever. The thing is, they announced this and the tickets were going on sale like a few days later. So at this point, like tickets are on sale for whatever's not sold out. I'm lucky because the Montreal lineup was actually announced, unless there's maybe there's going to be more, but it's Water Parks and Meg Myers. So I doubt there's going to be like a fourth band added to that bill. But I'm technically like one of the lucky cities to actually know. But here's the thing. If I look at like what other cities could I go to? Well, I could go to Toronto. I could go to Boston. I could go to, I think they're doing Silver Springs. Like there's a few dates, or they're doing like Brooklyn. You know, there's a few dates that I'd be, like a few cities that I'd be willing to go to, depending on what the lineup is. But I'm not going to buy a ticket for a Brooklyn show without knowing what the other bands are. But what happens if like Taking Back Sunday is playing that show and I really wanted to see Taking Back Sunday? Well, it sucks for you, bud, because like this ticket's probably sold out in like 10 minutes. So I hate this. I hate how this is rolling out. But like I said, I think this is My Chemical Romance knowing that no matter who plays with them, no matter what city they play, no matter what the situation is, My Chemical Romance alone is going to sell out whatever venue whenever. And everything else can kind of get like announced later, but it sucks. As a fan, it sucks. Like it really sucks as a fan. I get that some of these bands, like I think Thursday, let's say, like I think they're on tour right now, so they're probably playing on their current tour right now. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I think like Taking Back or Thursday, one of those two bands, like they're touring right now, and like they're probably playing some of the same dates as they're gonna play with My Chem on their current tour, so they don't want to announce it until after their tour is finished. Like I get it, I get that's how that works, but as a fan, this announcement and how it rolls out, fully knowing that all these shows are going to sell out, it just kind of sucks. That being said, my wife got tickets for the Montreal show. I'm not going. She's going with a friend of hers. I've never been like the biggest My Chem fan, so I mean, it'd be like cool to see, but like I'm not sad I'm not going. It's cool. I'll go listen to their songs at whatever emo night's gonna go on, and that'll be enough for me. Production's probably gonna be super cool. The ambiance, like the people that are gonna be there, are probably gonna be fucking crying their balls out the entire show, and that's cool. But I mean, it's water parks, they're fine. I'm not like a big water parks like stan or fan, and Meg Myers I've never heard of, so if it was if I knew it was a different lineup, maybe I would have, been more inclined. But that's kind of my opinion on this. I could try and deep dive and see if more dates were announced, or if all these tickets are actually sold already or not, but fuck it, I don't care enough. They got some Deftones style riffs, but make it gentrification. Is My Chemical Romance making new music at all? I haven't heard anything of the sort. They've really been writing everything as just a reunion at this point. Haven't really talked about new music. I wouldn't be surprised, because with this tour, because before this tour being announced, they had very limited reunion shows. There weren't too many of them. But with this one, it's like pretty extensive. They're doing like they're covering pretty much the full US. Yeah. Let me check out that flyer real quick before I get into didn't finish, but flyer I did. I know it's a mess, but it's more to show the bands instead of the tour dates and everything. Didn't finish this, so hey, this is cool though. I dig this. It's a mess fest. If you want to like super like cutthroat, like super honest opinion, I mean, obviously this isn't done, right? I think there's just like something about some of these like gaps here that kind of like there'd probably be a way of rearranging these logos in a different way that would make it like more full. Like I see like this here in the bottom. Obviously these are like more like more deathcore like bands and stuff on one side. Like it's kind of like split up by genre ish. But I'd stick like a Lorna Shore here, or Veil of more square, maybe like Suicide Silence here, Veil here, something. I don't know. I dig the style though. I like this. I've always been a really big fan of like black, white, and red. I think that looks super cool. Yeah, this is cool, man. This is the lineup I'd want to see, man. I'm down. Make it happen, dude. Let's get all these bands on a single show. I like these like reverse. Let's get into. Let me see. How long? What time is it? Okay, it's almost 3. I have one last subject I wanted to get into for the stream, and why am I lagging? It's in tour flyers. Okay, one more subject I wanted to get into for the stream. I've got the breakdown of the week to go through, and I got a bunch of other bands, but they're not there since I didn't finish it. I'll probably finish it soon. Oh, okay. So you're gonna fill those spaces up with other bands. That's cool. Where is? Okay. So I have a problem. let's look at this flyer. Okay, Born of Osiris, Veil of Maya. They're doing a co-headliner. Yo, what song is playing? Vocalist sounds familiar. This is Last 10 Seconds of Life. Little white line. Little black line. Jesus. I'm faded. But yeah, Last 10 Seconds of Life. Okay, yeah. So here's my issue. This is a Born of Osiris Veil of Maya co-headline tour. It's not really. Yeah, it's a 5-band bill because there's 6 bands, but one's doing the first leg, someone's doing the second leg. That's all cool. I 5 bands for a tour is a lot. Like, if there's gonna be like a local band on a show at all, that's pretty painful to sit through 6 bands. 5 bands is already a lot. I feel like 4 is the most I enjoy watching at a show, given that the bands are diverse enough. But like more than 4 bands, yeah, okay. So here's my thing. Born of Osiris and Veil of Maya are two bands on Sumerian Records. They're 2 bands that have like a good amount of success. Like, these bands don't need like any they don't need any more hype than what they already have. Obviously, I think Born of Osiris and Veil of Maya would go on tour alone, just the 2 of them, and probably just like rely on maybe one more band, let's say, and then maybe rely on a local every day. That'd be more than enough. Okay. Victims, Hunt the Dinosaur, Slay Squad, and Jinx. Victims has been, they're working with a booking agent, and they've been being put on some cooler tours, and there's some hype around them. I'd get Victims being plugged onto the tour. That, like I said, if this was a 3-band bill, Born of Osiris, Veil of Maya, Victim, I'd understand it. At the same time, Victims, unless the 2 headlining bands particularly wanted to help Victims like blow up or give them an opportunity, like specifically, or it's like an exchange of services from like booker to booker, like I could see something like that like making sense. I really don't have an issues with Victims being on this, but even then, I like they could have, I don't know, had like a bigger band, more of the Born of Osiris, Veil of Maya caliber be on a tour instead of them. But regardless, that's not my issue. Hunt the Dinosaur, Slay Squad, and Jinx. It's just why is Shafi was timed out by Nightbot for 5 seconds. What are you doing wrong there? Is my bot giving you trouble, Sammy? But yeah, like this flyer screams. What song is this also? It is Switch from the same album from Last 10 Seconds of Life. This flyer screams bands buying onto a tour. Here's why. I think the tour is like very poorly branded. Like, I feel like this is a bit of a just thrown together, pitched together type tour. There's no branding around the tour. Like, there's no name for the tour. There's no sponsor like presenting the tour. It could have just been Sumerian Records for all I know. That's the only logo that's on there. There's no endorsement or sponsors to the tour. Usually you'd have these logos here at the bottom. Like, just as a whole, I feel like this looks like a very DIY kind of approach to a tour. I don't know who's booking this tour, but it's kind of just like, like there's no, it makes it seem like there's no backing to this tour, which kind of baffles me because it's Born of Osiris and Veil of Maya. Like, they have the numbers. It's chill. which brings the band to probably send out a request for bands to buy onto the tour. Now, why would they do this? Well, because they don't have sponsors. They don't have money coming in to help. I guess usually that money would be to help promote the tour. You know, be able to have some sort of money coming into a tour as an advance, like before the tour actually starts. Because Born of Osiris and Veil of Maya are probably going to be paid every single night, you know, as they play the shows. So there's no money actually coming in before the tour. So a lot of times bands buying onto tours is justified as a way for these bands to have money coming in beforehand so they can properly promote the tour ahead of it happening. So whether that go to marketing or just like more assets for the tour and stuff like that, that's usually how it's justified. But judging how this thing has been rolling out so far, they've just been posting like pretty mediocre, just like live photos and live footage of them and slapping the tour dates on top of them. Like there's no big push for this tour whatsoever. I haven't seen it pop up more on social media than anything else. Like there's no big marketing thing around this tour for sure. So it makes you wonder, are they just, you know, is it just bands buying on so that there's more money in the pockets of Born of Osiris and Veil of Maya? Because maybe the guarantees weren't as high as they initially were hoping for. You know, it's like one of those things. My problem, like, this is all this to say, my main problem with this is the fact that having Hunt the Dinosaur, Slay Squad, and Jinx, no disrespect to those bands at all, but having these bands be on this tour, especially making it a 5-band bill every single night, adds absolutely nothing to the tour package. And I'd go further in saying that it deteriorates the tour package. If you're telling me, like, if I rather go to a show where it's just Born of Osiris, Veil of Maya, and Victims opening versus a show where it's Born of Osiris, Veil of Maya, Victims, Hunt the Dinosaur, and another one of these two bands, either I'm showing up super late because I know Veil of Maya isn't going to play before 9 p.m. for sure. Either I'm showing up super late or I'm not showing up at all. And that's just me. But I have no reason to stick through Jinx or Slay Squad or Hunt the Dinosaur if all I really wanted to see was Born of Osiris and or Veil of Maya. It's just, I feel like it brings down the quality of the tour because these bands, and again, no disrespect to these bands, and Jinx has been on a few, like they were like on Attila's tour and stuff like that, but I'm maybe those were buy-ons too, who knows? But like these bands just, they're not big bands. They're not hype bands by all means either. It's not like you go to these bands' socials and they have big followings. Like there's no one. I mean, I'd be willing to bet that every single city that this tour is hitting, I mean, Hunt the Dinosaur is gonna have 2 people there for them. And I get that, like, part of this whole thing, if you look at it as like an opportunity for a band like Hunt the Dinosaur or Slay Squad or Jinx, these are cool opportunities for them because they get to play to crowds that no one knows who they are. Which, I mean, from their perspective, I get it. It makes sense, and I understand why bands would even be willing to put money forward to be able to be on these tours. I just think that ethically and like as a service to the fans, buy-ons suck. Would this just be like I said, the difference between having them there or not having them there is a drop in quality of the show and making people maybe that are more jaded like me want to skip out on a show like this or just show up super late and not give a fuck about those bands anyways. I don't smoke, but I'd be on a smoke break for those first 3 bands. That's what it comes down to. I say 3 bands like I'd be skipping out on Victims. I wouldn't skip on Victims. I actually think they're super cool. Because I keep looking at like there's 6 bands on this flyer, but you get what I'm trying to say. Crypty saying also this flyer kind of looks kind of ugly. Yeah, exactly. And you'd think, you know, there's money coming in. Could they have paid someone to do a decent flyer? Did it have to look like shit like this? You know, I don't get these things. You know, money came in, like, for sure. There's no way Born of Osiris and Villamaya are like, yeah, man, like, we're super stoked on this band, Hunt the Dinosaur. Let's have them on our tour. Again, if any band members from those bands is watching, like, my bad, you know, but it's just, these things are super easy to spot when they happen. And they don't happen, I think they happen more than we think. And sometimes it fits, you know, like a band will buy on and they're like, you know, they still have like a certain amount of like hype for them, and the style actually fits the bill that they're jumping on. Maybe. And I know this isn't like this isn't necessarily even the bands that are like putting money into this. In this case, I'm pretty sure it is. But sometimes, a lot of times on like bigger tours and stuff, it'll be like the label that'll put the money down for a band to be able to be on a tour, hoping to recoup that money through them getting more hype because they were exposed to a bigger audience. Like I get that kind of transaction, but it has to add to the tour. It has to make sense. I don't think this is the case here, unfortunately. I don't think people realize how much these things can go for. I've heard numbers. I'm not gonna name names. I've heard numbers for tours like bands paying like upwards of 10K to be on a tour. Dude, that's a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of money that you can use for your own marketing instead, or putting into your own content, or, you know. I've heard higher than 10K. I'm just saying 10K as like a shocking number. But this is the kind of money that goes into these things. So I don't know about this tour, but you know, 3 bands on a tour, 10K a pop. I'm not saying that's what it is, but you know, they made a deal for Jinx and Slay Squad. They're 5K each, you know, because they're only doing half the tour. Yeah, okay, that's manageable. Cool. So they're on there, you know. Easy 15 grand each for each band. It's hard to see why not, you know. Again, these numbers are completely random for this particular tour. I have no knowledge, but that's how it works. So I don't know. I hate to see it, man. It just makes this tour not be a hype tour, you know? It's just like, well, okay, it's Born of Osiris and Villamaya, cool, but that's it. Anyways, that's enough of me being an asshole to these bands. Yeah. Let's go to the breakdown of the week. All right, I'm gonna have to cut it short after this. I actually didn't think I was gonna be going this long, but hey, 2 weeks, right? So had a bunch to talk about, and cool. We actually talked a bit to chat today. Had some cool conversations and stuff. So I'm super happy with today's stream. But that being said, I do have to get to some other occupations for the day, unfortunately. So I'm gonna be doing the breakdown of the week, and then we are going to end it there. So. Cryptic, you put me on to the Dali Thundering concept. You actually gave a pretty neutral rating to this new album, and I have seen this name a lot, actually. And immediately when I knew of the name, and then when I looked them up, I saw the album artwork for their previous album, kind of like a white beige kind of cover with the green moon, like half moon kind of a design on it. I had seen that artwork a lot when that album came out. I think it came out like 2 years ago, something like that. and for whatever reason, never really checked it out. I don't know why. But then I went to listen to some other songs by the band, and all right. But this album, they just put out an album not too long ago. What's it called? Let me just pull it up. The Dolly Thundering Concept. Yeah, see, so this is the artwork I was talking about. But yeah, okay, Almighty Men. This album fucking slaps in my mind. And this is, to me, kind of similar in the sense of, we were talking about Landmarks earlier today, about how like diverse the stylistic choices are within songs, and how eclectic it is. This is the same ish type of thing, but with completely different genres, and but it remains a very genty forward band. Heavy gent though, that kind of heavy gent that we used to have, old Periphery demos and stuff like that. It was like, is it gent with time, as time went on, kind of molded into this very samey kind of sound. I was actually talking about this in the Discord the other day, but I feel like most gent kind of all morphed into the same kind of thing. I feel like every gent band ever sounds like Tesseract, and I feel like Tesseract sounded like Tesseract for the past 10 years. Like that's like become a thing. But there used to be like just these gent bands that were just super fucking heavy. And this band incorporates, that's pretty much the base of this band, but they go into like these really eccentric kind of electronic fusion rap, clean vocal parts, like just very all over the place in terms of the styles they go through. I don't think it's the best songwriting. Don't hate me for this, but I feel like some of that genre blending doesn't always like flow well from one another, the same way that Landmarks does. Like Landmarks doesn't have an issue with that. This, like, my favorite song, one of my favorite songs on this album is it's got Siren in the name. Fuck. Thundering Concept track list for this. As the Sirens Call. I like, there's like the 3/4 of this song that is absolutely insane, but there's like the beginning of the song that's like pretty different, and it's cool in its own right, but the two just there's like a clear cut in the song that just, to me, doesn't make sense. And it's like this close to being like a fucking amazing song from start to finish, but those two bits just don't fit. So either some sort of a different transition, or just straight up not having them in the same song would have made either or stand better on its own. That being said, I really, really do enjoy this album from start to finish. It's really cool. And this song, The Sea Starts Here, which features the vocalist of Crystal Lake, is just completely nuts. And we're going to listen to the breakdown in this song for the breakdown of the week. Because this is just unapologetically heavy. I'm gonna leave this just for a second. Just so you can grasp the kind of randomness of the styling. Dude, this is so good, man. Anyways, we're not here for this. We're here for the breakdown. Dude, it's just... Let's put that back a second. It's like Genty, but like this vocal is like so fucking heavy. Just how this goes in. Like how heavy does that fucking hit, dude? Anyways, yeah, I highly recommend checking out this album. This song is fucking great from start to finish. Probably my favorite song on the album, so definitely check this one out. And if you dig it, check the rest of the album. It's pretty all over the place, but yeah, great. I mean, this was my discovery of the week. I've been listening to this album all week. So that's that. Let me see. Yeah. That's gonna be it for this week. I wanted to talk about podcasts that I listen to, but that could take another like half hour, 45 minutes of me blabbing on for forever. So I'm gonna keep that for next week's live stream. If I had the time, I would have done it this week, but unfortunately I have to flex. But yeah, so we're gonna keep that for next week. That's actually gonna be a cool little talk. Maybe I'll dig into a few that I wanted to list but haven't really listened to too much of yet. So maybe I'll take the time this week to listen to a few of the suggestions that I had that I've been hearing about, hearing good things about, but couldn't really comment too much on. So I'm gonna try to make it a thing for myself to check some of these out through the week and report back when I talk to you guys about the podcast I listen to in the metal realm. So that being said, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being here, whether you're here live or on the replay. Greatly appreciate it. If you're new here for whatever reason, you gotta subscribe to the channel. That's an order. All right, you gotta subscribe to the channel and also head to the Discord. There's a link to it down in the description below. I've been riffing off of this Discord for the entire live stream. This is stuff that's kind of going on in our Discord throughout the entire week. We've got people talking and sharing some new music and thoughts and opinions on all things metal all week long, and then I like to feed off of this Discord server as content into the live stream. So if you're interested in having some further discussions off stream and just talking to other like-minded individuals, do check it out. Would greatly appreciate it. That's like by far. I've been a bit slacking in the past week or so because I've been super busy and stuff. But normally I'm spending all my time in this in the Discord. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys probably. I say this every week, but probably this week with a new video. I know I haven't posted any original content in a while, but I just finished up all these projects that I had to do and everything, so we should get back onto that ASAP. And worst case scenario, I'll see everyone next Saturday around the same time for another live stream. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon, and yeah, that's it. Bye. Peace.